Remember this, it takes 6 men to carry a guy to his grave. It takes 1 woman to put him there.
It is very easy to look at the current state of affairs between men and women and to blame feminism for the whole stinking lot of it. The temptation is to wheel feminists into the public square and pelt them over and over again with rotting fruit. It is actually kind of fun to do that, as well as being a welcome comedy break. Why? Because feminists are funny in a neurotic cat lady sort of way.
Facts.
Not funny enough, in our opinion, however, to justify a distraction from finding your own way.
I agree with that.
For those who think feminists are the only or even primary problem, you might be fighting the fire by squirting the fire extinguisher directly at the flames and not at the base of the fire. As any fireman will tell you, that will never succeed in putting out the blaze. You have to aim it at the base. In this case, the base is gynocentrism.
What the hell is even that?
Gynocentric culture has existed for centuries, with feminism merely being the modern mutation of an ancient human trait.
One more listening.
Despite its rhetoric of being revolutionary, the essence of feminism remains remarkably traditional. So traditional, in fact, that its core ideas are simply taken for granted as unquestioned and unquestionable dogma, enjoying uniform assent across the political spectrum.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
That men, their whole life was taught how to treat a woman and not what to expect from a woman. But women were taught their whole life what to expect from a man, but not how to treat a man.
The medieval expectation of male chivalry towards superior ladies has continued to inform each wave of modern feminism and most other institutional forms of thought. Feminism is indeed only distinguishable from traditional gynocentrism in that it takes deference of men to women beyond popular culture and into government proper, essentially legislating it into every area of human existence. In fully understanding what feminism is, then, we come to conclude that feminism is simply gynocentrism on crack.
Y'all smoking crack! Something is wrong with you people! What the hell has this world come to?
But our current cultural crack addiction is not limited to the pipe. Feminism, liberalism, conservatism, social justice warriors, the politics of left and right, traditionalism, and even romantic love, these are mere finger puppets exploited by the longer-lived gynocentric meme. They are the vehicles by which gynocentrism perpetuates itself and masks behind which it continues to live, nay, thrive. Gynocentrism says that women deserve status, or are status. In the forefront of society's mind is, quote-unquote, the quarrel about women, quote-unquote, the woman question, quote-unquote, what do women want? Questions that will go on unless we as a society become more conscious of why we are asking them in the first place. That consciousness won't be had easily. As a culture, we have dared not challenge ourselves on why we are so obsessed with what women want. We do not question why we care so much, even as our desire to know at any cost reveals itself to be increasingly irrational and destructive. We won't actually face the reality that finding the quote-unquote secret to making a woman happy is infinitely more important to us than whether or not they are good partners, wives, mothers, or indeed whether they are decent human beings.
He needs some milk.
We want to make women smile, approve of us, and potentially spread their legs. And we generally don't care whether we are coddling children or monsters in the process. We seek no answer to that because we avoid looking at the problem to begin with. We have not risen to these and several other challenges with women for the same reason an alcoholic goes blank when you ask why he or she is obsessed with booze. It is because to confront these questions about what we do means we would invariably face more pressure to stop it. And we might, heavens forbid, take a look at what we are doing to ourselves in the process. It's far from pretty. The reasons for our blind quest of divine feminine approval range from being biologically wired to act like human lemmings in order to have a shot at reproduction, to being trained at birth to put anything with a vagina on a pedestal.
That's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that.
To the roots of our social history being so firmly traceable to male sacrifice
I'm not understand how
equals reproductive success.
the fuck out of here.
Whether it is one or all of these factors, the one characteristic that shines through is unconsciousness.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Whatever drives men to sniff for tail or seek approval or settle mummy issues, it is all driven unconsciously, and it all results in mindless sacrifice without even knowing why we are so willing to do it. This is not just an individual trait, it is a social phenomenon.
These ain't opinions. These are facts.
Unconscious gynocentrism is why people react so quickly to claims of women's pedestalization being under threat. The wage gap, women owning only 1% of the world's property, 300,000 girls sold into slavery each year in the USA, 1 in 5 college women are raped, domestic violence against women an epidemic. When did you stop treating her like a princess? The bogus threats to women's status, to Disney princesses, continue to be recycled year after year, despite being publicly debunked by the best scholars in the land. And they will continue to be recycled unless we take our focus off the cat lady, at least partially, and target the more troublesome aspects of tradition itself. In the following words of Irving Singer, we begin to get a glimpse of the ancient hand that wiggles the finger puppets.
One more listening.
Since the Middle Ages, men frequently used the language of chivalry to express their servile relationship to whatever woman they loved. And sometimes they described her as a divinity toward which they might aspire but could never hope to equal.
Your thoughts?
What? That he must prove himself worthy of her and so advance upward step by step toward a culminating union at her level. That everything noble and virtuous, everything that makes life worth living, proceeds from women, who are even described as the source of goodness itself.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
But though the lady now discourses with her lover, the men frequently cast themselves into the typical posture of finamours. On their knees, hands clasped, they beg the beloved to accept their love, their life, their service, and to do with them as she pleases.
What the actual fuck were you thinking?
Gynocentrism is based in a chivalry devoted to the pleasing of morally elevated ladies, and women have been lining up for regular status elevations ever since our medieval brothers took this wrong turn. Chivalry is the voice that asks, what do women want? And stands ready to make it happen for them, no matter how outrageous. The knight's relationship to the lady is thus the relationship of the subject bondsman, the vassal to his feudal master sovereign, who subjects him to senseless, outrageous, impossible, arbitrary, capricious ordeals.
What would you do with a brain if you had one?
Lacan quotes a poem about a lady who demanded that her servant literally lick her arse.
Oh my god, that is so gross.
The poem consists of the poet's complaints about the bad smells that await him down there. One knows the sad state of personal hygiene in the Middle Ages, and about the imminent danger that, as he is fulfilling his duty, the lady will urinate on his head.
Something is wrong with you!
The author is describing what we today refer to as shit tests. Those senseless, outrageous, capricious ordeals that assess men's resolve to serve a woman.
In a weird way, it was almost like I had to sort of fool my mind into believing that it wasn't retarded.
While the example is clearly extreme, is licking a woman's arse any more masochistic than paying for every date?
Nope.
laboring to finance her lifestyle?
No, I don't think so.
Or offering yourself as her emotional doormat?
No. No, 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 no.
Is it more outrageous than men's assent to affirmative action, employment quotas, DEI, or walking a mile in her heels?
Hell no!
Targeting feminism alone will never deal with the root of men's obsequiousness, nor will it deal with women's expectations of special treatment. For that, we have to tackle tradition itself.
Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe.
Lord have mercy. We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused.
The root tradition is that which promotes male chivalry towards women, and having isolated the cause, it points to an equally obvious remedy of men and women making a conscious decision to come down. Men from their white horses and women from their pedestals. That's how we defeat gynocentrism. Now, the latter of those two come downs will never happen. Women are never going to voluntarily give up the power position of the pedestal we put them on. However, given that that reading was from chapter 4 of the book Going Your Own Way, Understanding MGTOW by Paul Elam and Peter Wright, written in 2015, we can see that in the subsequent 10 years, the intensification of the subjugation of men by the gynocentrism on crack that is feminism has led to millions more men coming down off their white horses by taking the red pill and choosing the self-directed freedom of men going their own way. That said, there are still millions upon millions of men all over the world, thanks to the globalization of feminism, female supremacy, and misandry, who are yet to enjoy the peace, power, and freedom that comes from leaving the gynocratic plantation and going your own way. The main reason for that is that these brothers have not yet found the key missing ingredient that opens up the path of an independent, self-directed life. So if you're one of those lost brothers struggling to deal with the true reality of life as a man in 2025, then the next 2 minutes, which describe what that key ingredient is and where you can find it, are for you.
I don't want to be alive anymore.
Yo, what? Why? I got no money, basically no life plan. Some chick back at home spread a bunch of rumors about me, and now everyone there hates me, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, what do you do every day?
I go to work, I go home. I don't really see my friends much anymore, man. I don't know. It's regular stuff.
Do you like what you do? Dude, I work at a gas station. I do not like what I do.
Okay, I think I can help. Remember when you started taking up photography?
Yeah.
I remember how you sucked?
Yeah, but I got way better.
So why'd you keep going?
I thought I could make some money with it, but really it's just a cool hobby. I wanted to be better.
But you weren't necessarily enjoying it when you still sucked, right?
No, but I had other reasons to keep going.
So you do understand.
What?
This is heavy, but if you're anything like me, there'll be times in your life where you don't want to live. It could be weeks, it could be months. During that time, the only thing keeping you alive is not desire or enjoyment. It's not even the fact that people love or respect you.
Jesus, dude. Okay, what do I have to do?
It's just like photography. You believed you would get better, so you kept going. You just gotta believe life will get better to keep going. How? You gotta give yourself something to believe in. Could be photography, a job, people. You just need something to keep you going when you're not happy. You need a purpose. You need a purpose. You need a purpose. You're not gonna find it out here. You gotta create it.
If you get the wisdom he just gifted his friend, and you want to learn how to create a purpose strong enough and meaningful enough to carry you through the dark times of unhappiness, loneliness, depression, apathy, heartbreak, and even thoughts of not wanting to be alive anymore.
Hey guys, good morning.
Then click the link to watch the explainer video for the Law Brotherhood, a real-life role-playing game where you gain the superpower of a higher purpose by going on the real-life adventure of your very own hero's journey. Because the best antidote to not wanting to be alive anymore is a higher purpose and a deeper meaning that makes you feel fully alive, like you were as a child. Check out our school community designed to help you do just that. Click the link in the bio.
Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
God, we should walk away from this.
Hold on. If I were to do this, if I even could do it, I'd need a guarantee. How do I know you can deliver?
You don't. But I can. So, do you want to take a leap of faith? Or become an old man, filled with regret, waiting to die alone?